his years, he had never strayed farther than 100 kilometers from his birthplace of Dalian, and then only to visit his wife's mother, who lived on a small piece of cooperative land north of the city. He'd grown content enough with his lot, and then the man with the red eye had come to visit him. 3 weeks ago, the man had offered a considerable sum of money to see that a certain TEU was loaded into a certain spot aboard a certain ship. To Gao's astonishment, this arrangement happened twice more, and each time the man had given him an envelope of money along with verbal instructions. He made Gao repeat the number of the desired TEU and would not allow him to write it down. Today, the man with the red eye wanted 2 TEUs, PBCU-112128-1 and PBCU-112128-2, loaded together, well aft of the stacks, low and near the center line of the ship. CGSL Orion was classified as an ultra-large container vessel, or ULCV. Almost 400 meters in length and with a draft of 16 meters, the ship was deep enough to stack 18 TEUs from the bottom of the hold to the topmost box above deck. 23 TEUs could be arranged side by side across her 53-meter beam. 1 TEU looked much like any other, so the chalky blue box with unobtrusive white X's painted at each corner would soon blend with the 16,000 other boxes aboard the ship, all similarly muted in color, that were stacked over, under, and around it. PBCU-112128-1 and PBCU-112128-2 were not particularly difficult to remember, which was a good thing, because Gao was already thinking of how he was going to spend the extra money the man with the red eye had given him. 900 yuan, roughly equivalent to $150 each time he helped arrange a spot for a container that was going on the ship anyway. It was a tidy sum for someone making 7,000 yuan per month. Gao suspected his benefactor worked for a triad and wanted his container of drugs or other illicit material stowed deep in the middle of the thousands of containers on the vessel, thus lessening the possibility of search by authorities. Gao was a moral man, opposed to narcotics, but 900 yuan was 900 yuan, and he rationalized that he did not know with any degree of certainty what was in the container. The man with the red eye had assured him that he wanted only to hasten the unloading process when his container reached its destination. So Gao took the man at his word and kept the money, with a conscience as cloudy as his benefactor's eye. He was able to slightly assuage his guilt by thinking about how he might spend the newest installment of 900 yuan. Keeping well clear of the swinging cables and flying TEUs, Gao followed the man's instructions and located PBCU-112128-1 and PBCU-112128-2 in the stacks. He located the barcode on each container and checked them with the scanner he kept secured to a lanyard at his waist. He then coordinated between the operator of the second gantry crane and the stevedores working aft of Orion's exhaust stack and bridge house to guide the chalky blue TEUs into place. The entire process, from the time Gao first pressed the talk key on his radio with his surviving finger, to the moment the locking cams on the lashing hardware were turned at each corner of the 2 containers, locking them together, 7 layers from the bottom deck, 10 rows aft of the raised white bridge castle, and 11 across from the starboard rail, took just under 6 minutes. His task complete, Gao began to move his arm again. He spoke into the radio, directing the crane operators and stevedores as they continued to fill Orion, none the wiser to his deal with the red-eyed man. The chief of the ants smiled, 900 yuan richer, and thought about the pigs he could now purchase for his mother-in-law. He liked his mother-in-law. She was a good and gentle woman, well deserving of some new pigs. Hands clasped behind the small of his back, General Xu Jinlong of the Central Security Bureau leaned in to peer through the tripod-mounted camera.